Hi guys. So I wanted to talk. Let's chat. Let's have a little chat. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because this theme has been coming up quite a bit lately. We've been talking, people who were talking divine partnership, divine unions. And the funny thing is it's not even about the twin flame stuff anymore. For some people, they're still kind of holding on to that sort of narrative, which is fine. That's great. Whatever resonates with you. Maybe I should start this conversation saying that. I want to talk about all of the stages, every single stages of relationships, because I've been in probably every single one of them. I'm sure maybe that there are some really obscure types of relationships that I haven't been a part of. But when it comes down to it, I've been married. In fact, I've been married and divorced twice. I've been with numerous karmic soulmates that I had deep connections with. I had a twin flame connection that was my catalyst into my awakening. I've had partnerships that have helped me to evolve and grow, even though we weren't meant to be together. They were partnerships that helped me to evolve and grow. And then I've also, my divine union happened. My divine partner and I came together in November of 2020. So I've seen all of the stages. I've been through all of the stages. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And so I wanted to sit down and just kind of have a conversation and chat with you guys, because I think it's very important to understand in each of the stages, it's not right or wrong. There's no right or wrong stage to be in when it comes to growing and healing and being in relationships and stuff like that. I think where we get it wrong is when we think that just because we're in a relationship that isn't lasting, that is ending, that we thought was going to last forever, and we hold on to it really, really tightly, thinking that we have to, because, oh my God, if this relationship doesn't work, then the next relationships probably aren't going to work too. But I think that where we get it wrong more than anything is thinking that just because it is an uncomfortable situation, maybe it was a toxic relationship, that we weren't meant to be in it, or that it's regretful in some way, or man, I really wasted my time, or I really wasted my time on this person, I really did this. And you can think about it that way if you would like to think about it that way, but the way that I've really reconciled past relationships for myself is understanding and recognizing that every single male, because I have relationships with male masculine energy. Everybody has some are two females coming together. One holds a masculine energy, one holds a more feminine dominant energy. Two males coming together. One holds a more masculine energy, not male, but more masculine energy. One holds a more feminine energy. That's along some relationships, the female in the partnership holds the dominant masculine energy and the male holds the more feminine energy as well. It's not about sexual preference. Just let's remember that masculine and feminine energies are not about sexual preference. And I think that understanding how those energies work is a really good way to maybe start this. So masculine energies, and the ones that I would say the collective or the world is mostly used to, is the wounded masculine energy. The masculine energy is going to be more logical. The masculine energy is going to be the one that is kind of like action oriented, taking charge, taking care of everything. And even though I am a natural feminine dominant energy, my whole life, because of the trauma that I went through as a child, a teenager, and into my young adult years, I had to learn how to protect myself. So The masculine energy is a more protective energy. It's a more action-oriented energy. It's a more taking charge of things, taking care of stuff, making sure everything is taken care of. Where the feminine energy is a little bit, it's softer. It flows. Instead, the masculine energy is meant to lead, where the feminine energy is meant to flow. And so the feminine energy is softer. It flows. It's more intuitive. It's led by the feelings and not so much the logical stuff. Does that mean that people who are feminine dominant don't think logically? Absolutely not. I am more feminine dominant, and I think logically every single day. I mean, how do you think I, run a business? But because of the traumas that I went through as a child, as a teenager and a young adult, and a lot of the traumas had to do with wounded masculine energies, abusiveness and harassment sexually with me, I had to protect myself. And so instead of me being in a really soft, feminine, natural flow that I wanted to be in, I held on to that masculine dominance. And I think that most women do that to themselves, especially if they've been traumatized as children, or teenagers or whatever, right? I don't know one woman that doesn't have a story about how they were harassed by a wounded masculine man in their life at least once. I know that I was basically harassed almost every single day of my life for probably 3 decades, almost every day. Maybe not every day, but almost every day I was harassed by a man in one way or another. Because the wounded masculine believes that everything is theirs. Their ego, they kind of place a claim, they take ownership. They place a claim. And it's not a healthy claim, it's a toxic claim. So I would sit in my masculine energy, and when I met my first two, my first two ex-husbands, my only 2 ex-husbands, when I met my ex-husbands, I was more in my masculine energy than I was in my feminine energy. And they really liked that independence about me. They liked that I protected myself. They liked that I would take care of myself. But then, like, when we would get married and I would get pregnant, we would have babies, and then I would start to feel trapped because I didn't feel safe. And Teal Swan actually has a really amazing video talking about containment and what that means for the masculine. I'm not going to get too much into that right now, or what it means for the masculine and for the feminine, but I'm not going to get into that right now too much. So I'll link her video in my description box if you want to go watch that. But when you're in a mainly masculine energy and you begin to feel trapped, and there's literally 2 masculine energies in the relationship, right? I wasn't even allowing myself to surrender enough, or I didn't feel safe enough. I never really felt safe enough to surrender. And I was really given a lot of reasons not to feel safe, to be quite honest. I'm not here to pound on either, like to badmouth either one of my ex-husbands. They're both amazing men. They have grown and evolved a lot, even themselves, with their own journeys. I have beautiful children from them. Like, I'm not here to badmouth them in any way, shape, or form. So let's get that straight, okay? But I will say that neither one of them ever really made me feel 100% safe within the relationship. So I always had to protect myself. And when I felt trapped, it would always get to that point to where it was like, I can't do this anymore. And I had to leave because I just, you get to a point to where you just don't feel safe anymore. And I've always been a person that's been able to leave relationships, I think, a little bit easier than most people. And that's just because when I'll get to a point, I'll just get fed up and I'll be like, listen, dude, I mean, I've given you opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to show up for me. And if you're not going to, then I'm just going to be done. Sometimes it takes a while for me to get there, but eventually I'll just be done with it. So after my second marriage is when, and honestly, like, I mean, we could talk about how I would like go on dates with guys, like they were all first dates. In between my marriage and coming together with my twin flame catalyst, my friend, one of my friends decided it would be a really cute idea to put me on Match.com for a month. And she was like, I'm going to pay for it and all of that stuff. Hold on one second for me. Anyway, so in between that, my friend put me on Match.com, and I will tell you that that 1 month on Match.com, I probably went on like 5 first dates, and it was, I should have like kept a journal. Like, it was hilarious. I don't know that I would ever recommend anybody to do online dating unless you need like a really good lineup for a comedy show or something. Like, if you need like ammo for a book or ammo, like if unless you're doing research for something, don't do online dating. It's just weird. It's just a very weird thing. And you can honestly meet people online without even doing the online dating apps. I feel like the online dating apps are more of like a trap to take your money. My divine counterpart and I met on Twitter, of all places. So, anyway, my point. Okay. So then I met my twin flame catalyst, and it was like all sort of during this time frame that I was doing the online dating thing too, which I laugh at every single time because I can't believe I've ever done that. But then when I met my twin flame catalyst, I really got deep into the twin flame journey. And I'm sure that a lot of you that are watching this right now probably watched me do that. Like, got into the, I was a believer, man. You couldn't tell me anything different. I was a believer. I was dead set that he and I were supposed to be together. Like, that was the thing. And I was going to wait as long as it took for him to show up for me. So, unfortunately, I had such an illusion when it came to that. And I think, I'm going to be really honest, like, I didn't even know what twin flames were until I met him. And then I started looking up like soulmates and stuff like that. And I think when I looked up soulmates, that's when the whole twin flame thing showed up. But I think that that whole narrative, the twin flame narrative and needing to be with your twin flame and all of that stuff, I think that all of that was really perpetuated. And I'll even admit it, I was a part of it, right? And I stopped doing twin flame readings pretty abruptly at one point because I was like, this is not helping anybody. And it wasn't helping me either. But I think that it really was perpetuated by twin flames becoming very mainstream, and everybody wanted to be in a twin. But see, here's the thing, the narrative of the twin flame relationship and the twin flame journey is just like the romantic dramedies, the Hollywood romantic dramedies that they put out, where it's a push pull. You're supposed to trigger each other. If your twin flame is toxic or a narcissist or an abusive one, you just need to love them. You just need to love them. What I learned in my twin flame journey, and it's going to be different for everybody. Remember that. Everybody's journey is different. I just want to share mine with you so that you understand what every single stage looks like. Because in the twin flame journey, the first stage is the coming together, right? Because I do believe that the twin flame journey is real. Absolutely. My divine partner even had his own twin flame journey experience. We've both been through it separately and still can see the difference between the twin flame journey and what the twin flame energy or the divine union energy actually looks like. The biggest misconception with the twin flame journey is thinking that the twin flame is outside of yourself. Yes, you probably have a catalyst. Yes, they probably show up in human form. Yes, you have a very deep soul connection. You've probably shared many lifetimes with each other. I would not take that away from anybody. I would not take that part of the journey away from anybody. I wouldn't take that away from my divine partner. I wouldn't take that away from me. But we also have to understand that that person is meant to trigger you to love yourself. So as I'm saying that, I also want you to understand that my job and my goal and what I'm really looking to do for 2021 is to help guide you guys into a healthy, loving relationship with yourself so that you can attract your divine partner, so that you can have a divine union, so that you can be as happy as I am. Because like, literally like ecstatic about life and about the journey and doing everything. Does that mean that every day is easy? No. But all of the heartache and all of the pain and all of those things really, I mean, at the end of the day, we do it to ourselves. So what I wish somebody would have said to me when I was on the twin flame journey, and maybe they did, and I just didn't want to listen. Like I said, everybody's going to have different journeys and different ways of doing this and different ways of going. But I wish that somebody would have looked at me and said, it's not about trying to get him to love you. It's not about trying to get them to show up for you. What it's about is you loving yourself. It's about getting you to love yourself. It's about getting you to show up for yourself. And I started to remind myself, so instead of having somebody else say that to me, I had to say that to myself. And I started to remind myself every day of, man, look what I was doing. I was building an empire all on my own. I had some help along the way, yes. But I was really doing it all on my own. And I was healing. I was helping other people heal themselves. I was doing some amazing, magical things. And yet I was exhausted. And I was giving all of my energy to somebody who, yes, he loved me very deeply. And I know that he does. And I know that that love is never going to go away. Same thing. I respect and love him deeply as well. And I love the fact that he was a part of my journey. I would never change it at all. But that's where you have to get to. You have to understand that the more energy you're giving to that person, the more energy you're giving to the narrative, the more energy you're giving to the belief system and the narrative and the energy of the other person, the less you're giving to yourself. And you're doing a huge disservice to your soul, and you're doing a huge disservice to your purpose and your path and the direction you're supposed to be going in. So the workshop that I'm giving on Sunday, the LoveSoul workshop, which LoveSoul is a brand that my divine partner and I, his name is Henry, by the way, he and I have put together a brand, a LoveSoul brand, and it really is to dedicate to the world, to show the world and to dedicate to the world, love and learn how to love ourselves so deeply, because divine unions are happening a lot right now. I think there's going to be even more in 2022. And so I want to get everybody prepared. I want to not push. I want to, kind of give you a little nudge in the right direction. I want to give everybody a nudge in the right direction. And I want you to understand that it's not about time that's wasted. None of that time was wasted. You learned so much about yourself. You learned so much about the journey. You learned so much about your journey during that time. And recognizing and understanding that the twin flame journey or the twin flame experience is not the same thing as divine union. The twin flame journey and the twin flame experience is really the fire that's within yourself. You are your own twin flame at the end of the day, every day. Even in divine union, Henry and I are separated because, I wouldn't even say that we're separated. We're not attached to each other. We have a connection and we're committed to each other, but there's no attachment there. And that simply means is that he is his own sovereign being and I am my own sovereign being. We're two whole individuals that came together and created divine union. And that's the way that it works. And any other way, it's not going to work. We chose a path to heal with each other. And so that's what we're doing. I trigger him, he triggers me. We are loving and supportive with each other while we trigger each other, and we don't run away. I think the biggest thing also that I've had to say to people in readings, personal readings, is if you have to ask whether they're your divine partner or not, chances are they're not. Because you will know without a shadow of a doubt when your divine partner shows up. Your soul will just know. It'll just be like, there's no other way to explain it. Your soul will just know. There's not going to be a sign written in the sky. There's not going to be the synchronicities will probably start gearing up again. but the other thing is you guys will probably also immediately start triggering each other because your egos have to kind of come crumbling down as you come together. So just reminding yourself of that as well. And I'll definitely do more of these for sure. And if you have any questions and you want more explanations on certain aspects of the journey and certain, time frames and stuff, you can go ahead and put that in the comments of this video and I'll do my best to ask questions. But I'm really going to be doing a lot of focus on relationships this year. I used to steer clear of love and relationships because it always put a really bad taste in my mouth. And I think the reason why it always put a bad taste in my mouth is because it's not love. It's not love that puts a bad taste in my mouth. It's society's definition of what love is. It's the love that we've been programmed and conditioned to believe based on Hollywood standards. And during that, it just made me not want to do love readings. It made me not want, because it was just so much, I couldn't do it. Anyways, so I have a new relationship with love because love is in everything. Love is the highest vibration that you can be in. And when you fully learn how to embody love for self, and you're always coming back to yourself every single day, no matter what's happening in the outside world. And you're always making sure that you have healthy, loving, strong boundaries. And that's going to look like you saying, self-care, like saying no where you would have said yes before. Making sure that people don't get to just talk to you however they think that they can talk to you or however they want to talk to you. But really allowing yourself to be your own advocate and give yourself permission to love in really big ways and be vulnerable and be open. It's hard to do that. It's very hard to do that because we basically have to relearn how to love ourselves after not being taught correctly. Some of us have, a very small amount of us learned how to love ourselves correctly growing up. But the majority of us, most of us have not. So I have a whole bunch of services. I've actually got a lot of astrology services also that are available this week until March 21st. I have 20% off all of my astrology services. If you would like to get a little bit of insight as to what it is that you may need to heal to be able to raise your vibration, to start to love yourself, to start moving towards your purpose. One of these relationship, divine union relationship life hacks is the more you are on your journey with your purpose and aligning yourself every day to what your purpose is, the more your vibration is going to raise and the more you're going to attract your divine partner. But most people don't know what their purpose is. And so an astrology reading, we can really dive in and dig into that. So that's available. Other tools that I have available for you guys. So this LoveSoul workshop that's coming up this weekend, next weekend, sorry, it's on Sunday, March 21st. We are going to be diving in deep into childhood wounds. We're going to be diving in deep into what it means to spiritually love yourself. We're going to be, this isn't just a regular self-improvement workshop. We're going to talk about nutrition. We're going to talk what it takes to, start healing all of those traumas from your childhood. Like we're really, really, really going to be digging in deep. And everybody who signs up, I'm going to be offering you guys a chance to have a 15-minute free session with me to kind of like consult and see what it is that you might need specifically personally for your own journey. So everybody who signs up will be getting a link after that class. When I send out the replay, when I send out the recording replay, I will put a link up for you to schedule directly on my calendar a 15-minute slot for free to do that. Now, I'm only opening this class up to 40 people, and the slots to do that is going to be on a first come, first serve basis, because I'm only offering 15 of those slots. So I'm going to give it to everybody, but to be able to get your time slot to do that, you'll have to be pretty quick on the uptake to do that. So Just, so there's only going to be a limited amount of personal spots, and the class is going to have a limit of 40 people in it. So, but this is just the beginning. Like, I really have kind of, and it's funny because for a long time I tried to fight this part. I tried to fight this part of my purpose because I don't do love. I'm such a like logical, I'm sort of obnoxious. I'm just not like the I can be with obviously with my partner, I'm very lovey with my partner, but I just don't get into the ooey gooiness. Like I don't like the fake stuff. I don't like the stuff that makes us think that we're in love. And it's just an illusion. So, anyway, so I've been fighting this for a long time, but I'm really glad that I'm getting the opportunity. We also have t-shirts. Henry actually designed this t-shirt. It's pretty amazing. He's designed all of the thumbnails too for all of the videos. So he's pretty fantastic. Really amazing artist. And this t-shirt is only available through March. It's a limited edition specifically for this LoveSoul workshop. So get your t-shirt as well. I love it. It's so cute and it's really comfortable and it doesn't shrink in the wash. I was so excited that it didn't shrink in the wash. Anyways, really well made. So yeah, that's what I wanted to chat with you guys about today. If you hung out with me this long, I really appreciate you. And let me know what you guys want to talk about. Let me know what it is, what kind of topics when it comes to relationships do you really want me to dive into, because that's what we're going to be looking into this year. And we're going to be doing a lot of workshops to get into alignment with who we truly are. So that is the goal. I love you guys so much. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. We're almost to Aries season. Yes. Aries. I love Aries season. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.